All right, media, thank you so much for joining. I want to sound check the audio one more time, so you can just drop it in the chat one more time if you're able to hear us. Okay, great. Jordan, do you want to sound check real quick?
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yep, we got you. All right, thanks. All right, well, first of all, thank you so much, media, for joining on this Tuesday. It's been an exciting and busy free agency for the LA Sparks, and we are extremely excited to introduce one of our newest members, two-time WNBA champion and local LA legend, Jordin Canada. She's going to give a brief opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions. Please use the raised hand function, and I'll call on you in the queue. Thanks again.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's actually pretty late over here. I just got in. We have a tournament this upcoming weekend, so we just got in. So sorry for the delay, but nonetheless, I'm super excited to be a part of this championship organization. I'm super grateful to come back home. I'm super blessed to be playing for LA, and it's always been a dream of mine. And I'm just looking forward to getting to training camp and playing with my new teammates and getting adjusted to the new coaches as well.
Thanks, Jordan. We'll go to questions now. We'll start with Howard Megdal with the Next Hoops.
Hey, Jordan, thanks for taking the time to chat with us. Just wondering if I could, you were a potent three-point shooter dating back to your college years, and even your rookie year in the W, you took about 5 per game. I'm just wondering, in your conversations with Derek, with the staff over there, and just in your own thinking about your career development, how do you think the three figures into what's the next phase of your career?
To be honest with you, I feel like I have to be a willing three-point shooter. I don't necessarily need to be a knockdown three-point shooter like a Caleb McBride. I mean, I need to be able to, take the shot with confidence and, shoot it when I'm open. But I think for the most part, my development and where I'm at and where I see myself is being basically like the Chris Paul of the league, mastering my mid-range. I feel like that's where I will be most effective. And then just be willing to shoot the three-point shot, but also shooting a great percentage from three, but not feeling like I need to be a three-point threat.
Thanks. We'll go to Miriam Swanson with the LA Daily News.
Hey, Jordan, welcome home to LA. Well, I guess you're not home right now, but this summer home. Hey, so I wanted to, you sent out a tweet the other day about LA culture, watching the Super Bowl and the halftime. And I wondered for you, like, where do you see like yourself and the Sparks and like Derek Fisher fitting into like?
Yeah, I mean, it's something about having LA pride, especially, me being born and raised in LA, just this type of pride and the swagger that we have. And I feel like the Sparks are a part of that culture since I was growing up and watching, Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker and Lindsey Harding and, a lot of other greats that have played for the Sparks. I feel like, everyone that has come across and play for this organization is just this sense of pride, a sense of LA swagger that you have. And I feel like the Sparks have it, and I'm glad to be a part of that and to bring my LA culture and to add on to the team. So I'm just really excited for this summer and this season.
Thanks, Miriam. We'll go to Chris Camello with Nightcast Media.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jordan, welcome to LA, and obviously welcome to the Sparks organization. When you became a free agent, what was that process like? Was there any consideration to other teams, or did you always kind of have your heart set on LA? I just kind of talk about that process.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. It was a really tough free agency. It was just, kind of difficult. There was a lot of ups and downs throughout that process. And to be honest, the sparks came literally like on the last couple of days before free agency kind of ended. So I wasn't really thinking about, playing for the Sparks, considering, all the players that they had at the time and, the guard play that they had. So I wasn't really thinking that the Sparks, were looking for me, to be honest. And, so I was kind of, looking elsewhere at some other teams. And, at the last minute, Derek Fisher reached out to Tisha, my agent, and, he wanted to talk to me, and we talked for about a good 45 minutes on, me coming home and what it would mean, and, how I could help the team and how I could bring, what I have and my strengths to help, bring this team back to, what it used to be, in championship and organization. And so I was just all for it. And, it's always been a dream of mine to play for the Sparks. I never knew when it would happen. I knew that I wanted it to happen at some point in my career. I just didn't know when. And, it just kind of happened out of nowhere. And so I took that as a sign to, come back home and, to play for my city.
Thanks. We'll go over to Sabrina Merchant with SB Nation.
Hey, Jordin, welcome back to LA. Just building off of those conversations with Fish, obviously playing in LA is a great experience for you. I'm assuming just having been to a lot of Seattle Storm Sparks games, you definitely have a strong crowd that turns out. But what was it about the basketball fit that appealed to you with the Sparks?
Yeah, I think, the biggest thing that I've noticed while watching the Sparks and, how Derek Fisher is coach is that they're defensive minded. And I think that's something that I really bring to the table is my aggressiveness on the defensive end. And just also just being able to play freely, watching his players and people that have been there, like Brittany Sykes and Erica Willer, Christy Tolliver, Taya Cooper. The guard play is allowed to play their game and play really free. And I really like that about his coaching, and that he's not, putting them in the box or restricting them. He's allowing them to be who they are. And I think that's really great. And especially for me, having to come in and just, playing my game and playing freely, and I have to think about a lot of things and just being aggressive on the defensive end. And I think, those are my two greatest strengths. And so I just thought it was a win-win for the both of us.
Thank you. We'll go over to Rashawn Haylock with Spectrum Sportsnet and KTLA.
Hey, Jordin, welcome home. You were able to win at a high level and play next to and with one of the greatest in Sue Bird. Mm-hmm. What are some things that you've learned that are applicable to you now coming back home, coming to LA, and being apart from that you can, that would be beneficial for you as you start this new chapter in your career?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I've learned playing for Seattle and, learning from Sue Bird is just, having a championship mindset and the championship experience. I got to have that at such an early stage in my career, is just learning how to, be a pro and how to have that mindset to be a leader on a championship team. And I think that is invaluable. And just watching Sue and how she, has led our team in the past 4 years that I played with Seattle, and just how she thinks the game, how she sees the game, and constantly, in communication with us and, giving us that confidence and encouraging us throughout the games and in practice. And like I said, just having that championship mindset and that championship experience is something that I've learned playing with Seattle. And so trying to bring that here to LA as well.
We'll go over to Michelle Vopel with ESPN.
Yeah, Jordin, you talked about leadership and things you've learned, but it seems like you've grown a lot as a leader yourself. Can you talk about sort of how you see yourself helping the chemistry of the Sparks with some new faces? Obviously, there's some vets, but there'll be some new faces on the team this year, and how you see yourself fitting into bringing that chemistry together.
Yeah, well, playing with Seattle, I've learned to be able to, I guess you would say, I'll be able to learn. I've learned how to understand high offensive sets. And I think that's something that not everyone is able to do. And so I think for me, having that early in my career, learning how to be able to fit into high level offenses, I'll be able to translate that going into playing with veterans like Christy Tolliver and NECA and Brittany Sykes, and then having the young ones and Kennedy Carter and Taya Cooper, just being able to learn not only from the vets that are there, but also being able to use my leadership and what I've learned in helping Taya Cooper and Kennedy Carter, and, you know, even Katie Lou as well. I think it's something that I kind of play like in the middle of, and I think that will be where I fit in with the team.
Thanks, Michelle. We'll go to Rachel Galligan with Winsider. Sorry, I think we lost you, Rachel. We'll go over to Kahari Jones Jr. with the LA Sentinel.
Hey, what's going on, Jordan? Being from LA, you know, can you talk about the LA culture and then how that, you know, how does that inspire you? And then with all these LA teams winning championships the last few years, how does that motivate you to pursue the opportunity with the LA Sparks?
I mean, growing up in LA, like I said before, it's just like this sense of pride and a sense of swagger about us. You know, every time we step on the floor, we want to give 110%. And, you know, we have a lot of greats that are coming out of LA. And, you know, I really consider myself to be one of those greats coming out of LA and being a part of the culture. And I take a lot of pride in that, wanting to represent where I come from. And then just being back here and seeing, you know, LA winning all these championships from the Lakers and the Rams and the Dodgers, like, you know, it just gets me excited to, you know, want to bring another championship to the Sparks as well.
Thanks. We'll go over to Rico Cabrera with East LA Sports. Rico, are you with us?
Yes. How you like? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Jordan?
go ahead.
Hi, Jordan. Bienvenidos again to you from East LA Sports Scene and from our community. Glad to have you back. And just wanted to ask, can you share with us any of the well wishes or welcome aboards that you received from NECA, Christy, and the core group of players so far?
Yeah, I've gotten a text from NECA. She was actually the first one to reach out to me and, you know, basically welcome me home. And, you know, if I needed anything, that I can text her at any time or call her. She says she's like, you know, she's been a part of the organization so long that she knows everything, the ins and outs. And so she said, if she can't figure it out, she knows someone who will. Simone Augustus has reached out to me. And basically welcoming me home. And, you know, all the coaching staff has welcomed me. Katie Lou has texted me as well. And I'm trying to think, Amanda Zawi has reached out and Arella has reached out. So those are the few teammates that have reached out to me, and then the coaching staff as well.
Thank you, Rico. We'll go over to Steve Finley with the Culver City News Observer. Steve, are you with us? Okay, we'll jump over to Jeff Newholm.
Hey, Jordan, when you start to look ahead to this exciting next stage of your career, what aspect of playing for the Los Angeles Sparks are you most looking forward to?
I mean, playing with my teammates, honestly. I mean, it's a new team. I'm a part of a new group, and I'm just excited to, you know, be a part of the team and seeing how I fit in, and, you know, where I could bring my strengths, and, you know, learning from the coaching staff and being able to develop my game, and also just being back at home, you know, having my friends and my family that got to see me play at UCLA for 4 years, and now being able to come back and, you know, catch some games at cryptoarena.com. I think it's going to be really special for me to have a homecoming, and just to have that support and that family support, and that just fan base system that I've had over the last 4 years while I was at UCLA.
Go over to Eric Wilson.
Yes, good afternoon. I appreciate your time. Thank you for doing this. I was wondering if you had an opportunity to speak with another new member to the Sparks and Liz Cambage, if you had a conversation with her, and just the impact that both of you are going to bring to this team.
No, I haven't reached out to Liz. I've seen all the things on Twitter about her potentially joining, LA, and, hoping that will, follow through. I think that'll be great to, have her as a teammate if she winds up coming to the Sparks. But as so far, I have not reached out to her. But, hopefully she'll be LA Sparks. So we'll find out, hopefully.
All right, thank you so much. Seeing if we have time for one or two more, we'll go back to Sabrina Merchant with SB Nation.
Hey, Jordin. I was just curious, you mentioned that this was a really tough free agency process for you. Did it involve Phoenix at all? Just because I know your high school coach is there, and just out of a curiosity perspective, she's relatively new as a WNBA coach. Is there anything that you can share about how you think she's going to be as a WNBA coach?
Yeah, I mean, I was interested in Phoenix, and I think for a certain amount of time there was some interest there, and then Sparks came into the picture, and the rest is history. But Vanessa, she is one of the best coaches that I've had. She's been a crucial and essential part of my player development in high school and transitioning into college. She's very smart. Her IQ is one of the best that I've ever seen in coaching. And I think she just has this personality that draws you to her, and as she relates to everyone. And I think she's going to do an exceptional job with Phoenix, especially with the new pieces that they have. So I'm very excited for her, and I know she's going to do well. So I'm looking forward to it.
We'll try one more time on audio. Rachel Galligan with Winsider.
All right, sorry guys. Hi, Jordin. Congratulations on the new move. Just want to kind of ask you, you've done a lot in just your short WNBA career, champion, and you know what it takes to win a championship. I want to ask you personally, what are your goals for just this immediate future and then long-term in the league?
Yeah, I think the immediate future, is just, getting well adjusted to, being in LA and playing with my teammates, and just getting back to that championship culture that the Sparks have had. And, in long future, hopefully to win some championships. I mean, that's what it's all about. So I'm just excited to get to training camp and, to learn the system, be with my new teammates, learn from my coaches, and learn from the vets, and teach and lead. Those are something that I'm looking forward to right now. And then just hopefully in the future to, be a playoff contender and a championship contender team.
Thank you. We have time for two more. I'm going to see if Steve Finley, is your audio up? You with us, Steve? Okay, sounds like no. So we'll go to Chris, and then we'll end with Miriam for today.
Jordin, just looking at the Sparks from afar, it's been a kind of a tough couple of years for them. What other intangible aspect do you think you could bring to the team to kind of get them back to elevating this organization back to a championship status that you said you got inspired from other LA championship teams?
Yeah, I think one of the strengths that I have is being able to push the pace. And, I'm someone that loves to run and fast breaks and transition, and, getting to the paint and kicking out and finding my shooters. I think that's something that I bring to the table. And like I said before, I think my aggression on defense and, being able to play off the ball and on ball pressure, I think those are the two things that I bring to this team, and, will be able to help. So I'm looking forward to that.
Thanks, Chris. We'll end with Miriam Swanson with the LA Daily News.
Hey, Jordin, real quick, where are you overseas?
I'm currently in Hungary. I play for Győr Hungary, or Győr Hungary. That's how you pronounce it. So I've been over here in the beginning of January, so it's been about a month and a half.
Right on. So what time is it over there?
It is currently almost 10 o'clock.
All right, cool. All right, well, one more quick question for you. So obviously you and Katie Lou, like you guys used to go up against each other in high school, and then obviously you were teammates last year, and now you'll be teammates here. Can you talk to us just sort of about that like journey like that you guys have kind of been on against and with each other, and what knowing her game will be like, and how it will help here in LA?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a full circle moment, to be honest. I remember playing Katie Lou and even Carly when we were younger, just playing against each other when we were kids, and then growing up in high school playing against each other again. And then I don't believe I played against Katie Lou in college when she was at UConn. I maybe I did for like 1 year, but just the journey that we've had has just been pretty cool to see. And now coming back to LA where it all started, and being able to represent where we come from and being able to play together at home, I think is going to be a great thing. So, and just playing with her in Seattle as well. Like, I know she's just she's a great shooter. And so I'm looking forward to, dropping some dimes and getting some assists from her, and just being at home and playing with her. I think is going to be extremely exciting, just to have all our family and friends and having that home base and that support system with us. So I'm pretty excited.
Well, thank you so much, Jordin. Also want to thank, we had a great turnout today, over 20 media members in here. So appreciate you taking the time. We do have Katie Lou Samuelson tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, and Kennedy Carter Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific, and we'll send out a recording to today's press conference shortly. So thank you, everyone, and have a good rest of your day.